Oh, there we are. Oh, hey everyone. Welcome back to the Xfinity Analyst Desk. Well, soon we'll be there. Right now we're at the Intel Esports Arena and we do have Cloud9 and Renegades to kick off North American Match Day number 18. My name is Trey Saranthus and I'll be trying to steer this lively ship behind me in the right direction. Either way, let's go ahead and kick it off for the last day of this week of Pro League. Oh my goodness, it is time for the Game Flip pre-show. Can you believe it? Here at the Xfinity Analyst Desk, of course, I have my group of banditos to my left and my right. I've got the analytical crew that has been helping bring this action all season long in Pimp and Vendetta. Welcome back, fellas, for the last day of this week of Pro League.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sir Trace.
Sir Trace. That's a new one,
Sir
huh?
Saranthus.
I guess I've been called a lot worse than that. Either way, let's go ahead and check it with my right side here with the two guys that do the most talking out of all of us. That would be Harold and Jason, a.k.a. Just Harry and, well, Moses.
Also called the B Team.
Ooh.
Huh. All right.
Starting
out
here.
Honestly, start the day. And a Thirsty Thursday. Getting into Freaky Friday.
Okay, guys, that was getting a little weird. Let's go ahead and hone it back down to Counter-Strike level. That's what we're here for. That's right. ESL Pro League. We are finally coming to a head here with the season, and things have started to heat up across the board. And with that, we could probably go ahead and take a look at today's schedule, because it is about time to kick off some matches. I told you Cloud9 and Renegades are going to kick it off. We're going to be followed by a little SK and Complexity and just a little bit of Dignitas and Ghost to round out the action tonight. Can you believe it?
I actually can't believe it because I see it on the screen right here, Trace. So I'm looking very much forward to going to the first one, Renegades Cloud9. I think it's going to be interesting to see how FNS is going to, form this Cloud9 and how they're going to play. Apparently they're playing with Skadul tonight, I believe. So he may be on his way back to the team. So
He is back.
He is back officially. Well, there we go.
You guys didn't know that?
We didn't know that.
Yeah, I did.
That's what Scott said. Scott
He
said so.
actually
At least,
said
right?
it.
He said,
Right on
he
his
said that
tweet.
he'd come back to play Counter-Strike. I don't think he ever said he's back to the team itself.
He...
It was implied.
We'll get into that one in due
Yeah,
time. We do
let's
have an
do that.
entire pre-show. Of course, a Game Flip pre-show to look at there for that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings, though, because I told you the playoff race is on, and my goodness, you're going to see a team in red right there, and that's the boys in yellow. The little alien itself, Team Dignitas, down at the very bottom of the pack, not looking so hot. But on the opposite, we do have Liquid and Energy, who have secured and punched tickets to the ESL Pro League Finals in Dallas, where you can also get your tickets as well, proleague.com/Dallas. Talk to me a little bit about these standings, though, guys. Who else can we expect to see joining them?
I mean, we kind of alluded to it yesterday. The fact that the teams that are currently sitting in the top 6 is amongst the teams that we were expected from the start of the season. Luminosity still within a shot as well to make it to the finals. But in my eyes, I'm seeing this kind of pan out the way the standings are right now. Obviously, a little bit of a mix-up in terms of what they place like, but it should be these 6 teams.
Well, how about the EU side of things? Pimp, I want you to take this one as far as you can, make it as weird as possible.
Yeah, well, we got the Turkish surprise and Space Shoulders actually topping the league right now. The first team to qualify from the European division. I don't think anyone saw that coming. Followed up by NIP, who has been for a long time been absolutely not so good at the game, to say the least. But somehow they found some consistency with Dennis as the in-game leader, and finally starting to show off how good they are. Navi as well, you know, they're about to lose Symbol and Flamey, and all of a sudden they're topping Pro League as well, qualifying for the finals. So it's online Counter-Strike when it's best. It doesn't really make any sense, but these are the teams that are going so far. Astralis as well. FaZe were very close to securing a spot for themselves today. They need one more point, I do believe, in order to be sure for that. And Mousesports, you know, fighting out with North and G2 about those last few spots.
Right, just right there. And of course, if you didn't know, they're fighting for a chance to go to Dallas, Texas, the homecoming of the ESL Pro League. That's right, we're heading down to Dallas, Texas for the Pro League Finals this season. A considerable amount of prize money there, but you can find your ticket at proleague.com/Dallas. Because if you don't have one of those, you're simply not getting in. Let's take a look at the prize distribution here for the Pro League Season 7 Finals. You're going to see 250,000 big ones there for the Global Finals for first place, followed by, well, I guess just a measly 110,000, right, guys? My goodness.
Jesus, like, yeah, how do these guys survive, right? It's a miracle. No, that's a lot of money being shared to the majority of Counter-Strike teams. You can see, obviously, the top part of this, obviously, from each region is awarded with a final spot, which does bleed yourself to a fair amount of money.
Fun fact right here, just quickly showing, fun fact, Dignitas could end up winning one game and actually earning themselves $12,000 for winning one game. I think that's a pretty
bad.
good,
It's not bad
salary
odds.
for that one.
Considering the season they've had, thankful would be
I
the
think
word,
that's okay.
I believe.
They do deserve it. They're struggling.
But more importantly, well, maybe not more importantly, but a much broader picture, 1 million big ones. Like a whole bunch of money. You're going to see SK, G2, FaZe, NiP, SK again, and Fnatic all having secured their spot so far in the Intel Grand Slam. Now, there's only 4 events remaining. That would be, I believe it is Marseille, followed by the Intel Extreme Masters there in Sydney, and then the Pro League Finals, and then finishing out in Cologne. Now, the big thing here is you're trying to grab $1 million. Talk to me about the Intel Grand Slam, boys.
Yeah, so the big deal is for one team to be able to accrue 4 victories to kind of trigger that pot of $1 million and claim that as theirs. So far, we only have seen one team pick up more than one Grand Slam tournament, and that's SK. They're sitting at 2, and they're starting to run out of chances to pick up more. Right, we've seen some turbulent times for the SK squad, so they might not be in their best shape to actually being able to do so. And we're going to have so many tournaments, like 3 of these tournaments in the Grand Slam circuit is going to come so close up to each other. We've got Sydney, you got the Pro League Finals, and so on. Like all that is just culminating within like the span of 3 to 4 weeks. So like the race is fully on. We could very easily see one team just going straight ahead and winning three tournaments in a row, in addition to just closing out the Grand Slam, which should be really exciting to see how it pans out.
Well, the closest ones to it right now would be SK. Yeah. Obviously, they're sitting in a much different position than when they secured the first 2. But can they do it will be the big question. But tonight is not quite the night for that. Tonight, we will be kicking off a little bit of Cloud9 and Renegades. Like I said, the Australian side of things, or the oceanic side of things. I don't know how you want to look at it anymore. That the team is slowly drifting in and out of that whole region, state.
Yeah.
But Cloud9 themselves, the major champions. I'm going to say it one more time in case you didn't hear me.
Last time, Trace.
Major champions.
And there we go. Never ever again.
What did I say again?
I think it was something about major champions.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Cloud9, having won a major, has also undergone a roster change, bringing in FNS for Stewie 2K, Skadoodle in and out.
Yeah, can we call it 2 roster changes?
I don't know.
It's
I mean,
like
is
the
it really a
plus
roster
Cs,
change?
minus Cs kind of thing we had going with Navi for a while.
Yeah, I mean, something quite like that. Either way, let's talk a little bit about this Cloud9 in the post-major era.
I mean, it hasn't been looking great for them. What we saw at the major was definitely their peak and was a culmination of them showing up, all 5 players. We have alerted to them being like this sort of American face in a way where they gather around the best NA players, or at least some of the best NA players in one team, and didn't really think about roles. They just needed the 5 best players and to battle it out. And that's why Tarek ended up calling for them. And we were a lot of doubters in the beginning of that move. Some even alerted to call him a peanut brain, which was maybe over the top. That said, though, he showed us all that he's not a peanut brain. He made this Cloud9 work, and they were the major championship winning team for some time ago.
Wait, what
now.
did you say?
I don't want to repeat it again. That said, though, they haven't really found a way to stay on top, and that's what you see a lot of the times, both in professional sports and in football for that matter, and all other sports. Getting to the top is one thing, but staying up there is definitely the hard part, and they were not good enough to really ride off their success and keep improving. So that's why we see this shaky area right now. Steve 2K left to SK. He probably wouldn't have done that if they weren't, still winning tournaments and still had the major championship potential they had back at the E-League major. So it's a team in a lot of problems, I would say. FNS, new guy to the team as well, trying to put in his insight to the team. Skadoodle in and out. Apparently he's back now for good. Whatever, that's his own decision of them not being able to find a better player. Who knows? It's just not a good situation to be in.
Why don't we take a look at what they have coming up going forward? Cloud9 do have a considerable amount of matches still to play. And of course, Renegades tonight, Rogue and Splice. So what seemingly should be easy work for this Cloud9 roster. Can FNS do it? Can FNS lead this group to the heights that we expect Cloud9 to be at?
I guess heights, for me, that would be like a top 5 kind of team. I don't think that's I don't think that's the case though. I don't think they're going to be able to do that with the current lineup they have. Even though yes, FNS has shown in the past that he's able to make mediocre teams above mediocre, above average. I don't think that's the case. We haven't really seen him being able to do it with top tier talent, which he is surrounded by now. Obviously, it'd be great to see him prove us wrong. Wouldn't be against that at all. But it's a very different task as a leader, an England leader, to actually being able to bring people to that just next level that very few can actually just reach at any point of their career. So I think that's going to be an extremely tall task for Cloud9, and I see them being a top 10 team, but nothing more.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think, as you said, FNS has been one of those guys who have been able to pit mid-tier talent into decent positions. He did it with CLG, made some playoff runs in DreamHacks, but taking top-tier talent and making them better from a guy that hasn't really showed anything in regards to individual play himself, besides from taking these middle ground teams to decent heights, it's going to be tough. I feel also Tarek is going to suffer a little bit from not being able to call anymore, and there's just a lot of problems within this lineup that I don't really see solvable within the near future.
Within the current climate of the roster, so to say. How about this? What about the Renegades? How about a guy named Nifty over in the Renegades, having taken them to the heights that they've gotten? I mean, I'd say they've looked considerably better than they have,
for quite some time.
When Chad played, I mean, let's be honest.
Well, that was absolutely horrible.
But you're not putting the bar
worst
high here, are we?
counter-strike
Yeah.
on history. But either way, let's talk a little bit about the Renegades and what they've done this season so far.
I mean, they've been very good, just straight off. I think probably one of their worst showings was the way they started off the season, which is Luminosity, a bit shaky there. But yeah, no, they've just been getting gradually better and better. And I think we can forgive them for the slow start to the season in that sense, because Jacob came to the team about 2 days before they started the entire adventure. So for me, it's just been a positive surprise. Everybody kind of expected, with the NAF removal or departure from the lineup, that would be it. Renegades would go back to be a middling team that would kind of just win the Asian minor, show up, and then that's kind of where the story starts and ends for them. But they've showcased that they can actually, actually go toe to toe with the big teams in NA as well. And now they're actually, I think it's justified to call them one of the big teams in NA as well. Definitely one of the top dogs in this league.
Well, we can talk about top dogs. We can talk about the entirety of the league. But I think we need to have an actual head-to-head here, like an actual comparison between two players, one on Renegades, one on Cloud9. Let's talk a little bit about Rush and as well as JKS. And maybe some compare and contrast here. What are we thinking?
Yeah, it's fun to talk about those two because I feel it's two players that we sort of like lost track of. JKS were one of the guys that we initially, a year ago and 2 years ago, thought that he's going to move to something bigger. Yep. He's not going to be in Renegades for long because he's simply too talented. Unfortunately for him, that never really facilitated for him. I know there was a few teams trying to buy him out and a few teams trying to poach him, but he never really wanted to leave Renegades, and Renegades never really wanted to let him go. On the other hand, you have Rush, also is like supposed to be the support player for Cloud9, and actually not having too great of a time right now. He usually put up a bigger ADR than 64.9, and is one of those players that we need to see step up if they want to be a top 5 team, as we talked about.
How about this? You're going to see Inferno. You see it right there. I saw it. It was just a glimpse of Inferno.
Evidence.
You've got about 30 seconds. I'm going to give you both about 10 to tell me who you think is going to walk away. Cloud9 or Renegades with the W?
This is actually a really tough one for me. I'm not completely convinced in Cloud9 ever since they added FNS, but they have been a good Inferno team for quite some time. And
time's up.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Cloud9. Bam.
Next victim.
Cloud9.
Okay,
You
well,
still have
that's
25 seconds to fill here.
It's a fair assessment. I mean, they are the major champions, and you can never write that off. Is that right, Jason?
That's exactly right, Trace. Got to give it credit where credit's due.
Yeah, I mean, a major win is a major win. I don't care what happened afterwards. Let's talk about you guys taking away from here and going into Inferno. Who are we expecting to win this one, boys?
Harold, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I'm going to say Renegades, why not?
Always the contrarian.
Every single time?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I actually really love Renegades. They're probably one of my favorites.
This is now the 4th team that you said you
Well, no,
loved,
I mean,
and it's
you
one of
actually
your
pointed this out
favorites.
last time I said it about Renegades. So,
Okay, so it's still at 3?
it's still at 3, yeah. I mean, is it a crime to like 3 teams, Jason?
Yeah, actually, I think it is.
Okay, well, there we go. Lock me up in that case. Here's Renegades. They've got very talented players, and I think Cloud9, they've looked good, but I haven't been entirely convinced. That said, FNS, he's always been good on Inferno. When you look back at his time with Complexity, he was really training them up to be good on this map, and the rest of the core of Cloud9 have always had a lot of talent here. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a tricky one.
Yeah, I think the big thing is even if you doubt Renegades, as we did against Energy, actually hold the thought. Look at this aggression out towards the balcony. All of a sudden, Renegades on the back foot. That's going to be 2 kills for Cloud9. Rush and Tarek piling on. 3 members left of Renegades trying to gain what ground they can, and actually Cloud9 is just retreating. Everyone's falling back except Tarek gets caught. I think Cloud9's going to be okay with that, and look at the flank coming in. Automatic and Skadoodle, the response pushing up towards mid. This could catch Renegades off guard. The bomb is still down in alt mid and Automatic. This is a tough scenario to be in. Jacob, I don't think he's going to expect this. This is going to be a free kill, and all of a sudden, they've lost 2 players in the confusion that they caused, and even FNS missing some shots, and all of a sudden, Renegade has turned this around. This is a disaster for Cloud9. Skadoodle still presence in mid. And Rush has just got to hold strong with 6 HP. Skadoodle going to miss the initial salvo, and he sees 2 opponents, so going to keep falling back towards the B bomb site. I don't think he can make it. I think they're going to catch him. And yeah, he tried to jump around the corner, and they do end up missing, but he's only got 1 health, and this is now firmly in the control of Renegades. They're going to win this round. Rush can't take a single shot, and they've done it from a 3-on-5.
Yeah, they're going to go to get this bomb down. You don't have too much faith in Rush here. You know, 1 kill to his name already. These have to really all be headshots. He has to win out these duels immediately. He can't afford to take, you know, a prolonged firefight. 6 HP. He does have the kit at least, but I don't really have too much faith. And neither does he. He's just going to back away, take the armor into the next round. I think he's only been headshot. Yeah, he has. So he can get the cheap upgrade. He's also got the kit. So, you know, he has got $1,000 worth of investment on him right now.
This is a problem, Harry. We see this time and time again when teams get aggressive, whether it's on Inferno or just in general, even on other maps, is once you have that success, once Cloud9 gets those 2 kills, there's no reason to build upon it. You're in a 5-on-3, and if you can't close that out, like, you either massively screw up or it's something incredible out of Renegades. But the fact that players stick around a little bit too long, and it's always a rough line to know when you're overstaying yourself. You need to just fall back after you get those 2 kills. Just book it back to the bomb sites. Just get away. And it feels like Tarek stuck around a little bit long. Automatic too aggressive and ultimate after that push. They just left themselves too exposed, and they had no plan to kind of group up and play the round as a team from that point.
And you know, it's kind of funny that pistol round goes down that way, because that is that is the FNS pistol round strategy on Inferno. Every time we've seen Complexity play this map, that has been how he's approached it, is the rush down through mid. But of course, you know, when we saw him do it with Complexity, he'd been doing it for a while, and they kind of got caught out in a similar fashion the first few times they attempted it. So yeah, it just felt like Cloud9 not really too sure where to go once they'd taken that much aggression. And, well, now they've already been able to find Ustillo early on. He's fallen. That's a UMP throw in the way of Tarek. And now Renegades, being a man down, they've had to slow right down almost to a crawl here. Not really sure what to do. And this is where, you know, you kind of get a little bit scared if you're Renegades, I think, because you've lost the first duel, and we see so often, you know, these CZs, they're so powerful in these 4-spy rounds. It can be a very, very tricky situation now to understand, you know, how to play out the rest of this round.
It's going to be tough, especially because, well, actually, all the smokes have now been used from Cloud9, so they've got to have a lot of patience. Couple counter flashes. Leaning at the moment towards this B bomb site. Perhaps the sentiment that it's easy for terrorist teams, no matter the situation, to just fall back and hit a straight up execute. They want that 3rd player there, and it's looking like it's going to be the right call. Bomb is now creeping his way over, and this could be the counterplay. This could be the flashbang from Skadoodle. Going to wait until the execute comes in. Going to wait until they call for it, and it's going to come any second. He's going to toss it just now. Where's the peak? Automatic is ready for it, but he mistimes it. That could be a disaster. One player has been able to get there, but Automatic handles him. Skadoodle coming through the smoke, and they think they've just done it. I think they've held him off enough. FNS just has to buy for time. 10 seconds on the clock. Just needs one more kill to make sure the advantage is still there, but he can't find it. Still a tough scenario for Renegades to fight themselves out of. A 2-on-2. Weapons salvaged. Molotov going to be late, and that's a good kill from Tarek. That was low HP, but into a 1-on-1, and Nifty again is just bleeding internally. Tarek doesn't have a kit to play with either. Rush had one. He's going to go back for it. Almost gets caught. And this is turning into a very sketchy round. Tarek still trying to find his opponent, and Nifty just toying with him. Tarek's going to stick the defuse, and he's going to hold it down at this point. Nifty's not going to be able to find him around the fountain. That's a great hold from Tarek. A double kill and the victory.
Renegades are going to be disappointed with that one. Tarek, you know, the balls of steel to go ahead and stick that defuse, and don't think Nifty quite anticipated him to go ahead and do that. And, you know, also have the kit that was, of course, carried forward from the previous round by Rush. So that's going to go 1-1, and Renegades, they play things passively. You know, they got the bomb plant in that round. They had money looking forward. They haven't gone for the 4-spy here like I think so many teams would opt to go for. They've instead they've conceded this round in the way of Cloud9, or at least, you know, you imagine they have.
If they were going to have to double save, I think we could see them buying up into this. But with that plant in the last round, I think they'll be able to squeak out a purchase. We'll be getting around 2,000, so most of them will be sitting in the mid 4,000s before any kills come in. So yeah, we'll see. Smoke is out. It's going to be a little bit late. Tarek's actually pinched both sides. The pillar not offering any cover whatsoever, and Skadoodle not getting enough done either. Dangerous now as FNS rotates over, and he's going to go get aggressive and find this kill, but his teammate still alive. Rush is able to get 2. There goes JKS and Ustillo, and that seals the round in the favor of Cloud9.
But now that buy comes in, we get to see AWP out on Nifty early on as well on that T side. That's going to be something to keep an eye on, because it doesn't look like Skadoodle's going to have one for Cloud9. And I always like seeing Nifty getting the AWP early on. He's going to go ahead and take that over towards the top of mid. And oh, look at him go. He's not slowing down for anybody. I mean, there are 3 players pushing down Banana from Cloud9 just to try and counteract this. But Nifty, he might be able to find something here. Skadoodle lies in wait over towards the top of mid. Rotation coming back from Tarek, who was aggressive down Banana early on with FNS and Automatic. Now he's going to look to try and bolster this A-hole. The smoke's down top mid, but it's going to start to clear. Tarek can't really afford to go any further forward from this arch side, and he knows it. But as such, all it takes is one smoke, and he is blocked off from locking down this site. Ooh, they throw it for library, so perhaps toying with the idea of wrapping through CT, maybe.
It could be. That Molotov obviously going to hold them off, and actually good utility usage deep into these choke points from C9 just to delay the inevitable hit, and also the damage that comes out onto Nifty and Aza. About 100 HP nade altogether. They're nearby. Rushes chip down as well, back into pit. There's no progress gain until just now. Jacob finds the entry onto FNS. Automatic wasn't really there to bait for him, so it's an easy swing around that corner, and Tarek is on his way. He's got 2 flashes to stall this, and now the B-hit becomes viable. Now they have a pathway in, especially because Skadoodle is so low. He's got to be careful, and FNS has to push one way. He's got to get aggressive on one side, and he holds his nerve, doesn't pull the trigger. He's going to go right through the smoke. He might have a chance here. There's low on time, and he's just waiting. No one is covering this either, but he's spammed down. Aza is able to find him. I don't know if he could see him through the smoke or just guessed for the angle. That was the last chance Cloud9 had at winning the round, and it slips away.
So Skadoodle and Rush going to have to save, and 5 players surviving, at least right now, for Renegades. JKS might change that, but he knows, any gun he could take away is going to be well and truly worth it, because if they save these 2 rifles, likely we're going to see Cloud9 buy into the next round, but if they lose them, then suddenly that becomes a difficult prospect. I think, you'd have Skadoodle double eco anyways. Maybe you go for the Force. But, I mean...
What?
Yeah, I was wondering why.
I saw him see, like, the barrel, and I was like, surely he's not going to take the shot. That's not even a pressure. That's just an unforced error, isn't it? That's really awkward.
Well, yeah, I don't know how that happens. I seem to recall I told you I play without a crosshair. Perhaps he's playing without minimap or anything.
You don't actually play without a crosshair, do you?
I did for the longest time.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah, I explained this a few times. I think I've explained it to Trace as well. Just because, people who've competed in sports have competed, in unideal situations, often, in the success stories that you see all the time.
Oh, that's right. I remember this insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was some golfer who only had like a 3-iron and he played on a beach, and then the second he went on a real golf course with an actual set of clubs, he was unreal,
Okay.
So, yeah, there you go. Look that up. Don't know his name. Can't remember who it is.
How's that strategy going for you? Pretty good?
Well, no, it didn't work out very well,
Okay.
That's why I'm here. But, maybe it's working. It didn't work for Jacob either, He didn't have his map on. He killed you still, and, regardless, 4 players survived, so they're not going to be too disappointed. Now they're going to be sending 3 players up here towards Banana. They have Nifty holding the top of mid. He's waiting to see maybe if anyone from Cloud9 goes for that information, playing through the short angle.
There's the Molotov on automatic. And the smoke just goes down now from FNS, so actually this is going to delay things. This smoke won't even disappear until 30 seconds, so they're going to be held off. Molotov still in automatic sense. He's got a follow-up smoke as well. Oh, he actually used the Molotov. That might have been a blunder. He throws it past them, and it does no damage whatsoever. He puts out the smoke in front of him. FNS is all alone. He's isolated. He only gets 1, and now automatic coming around can't do anything. Again, Renegades just barrel into this B bomb site off the back of a triple kill from JKS. Finding all the entries. And that's going to be Renegades with the lead again. Rush and Skadoodle just have to sit this out and stay alive.
Yeah, and I want to clarify, JC. I normally go for the underdog picks just because why not? No one else is going to pick him, so I will. So at least we can be, bad together. But Renegades, that for me, this isn't like one of those like meme picks. Well, I just throw it out there to be the Magic Walrus. This is a legitimate. I love this Renegades team, and I think that they genuinely, have a good chance of beating Cloud9 here. I think, as well, when we see them competing on home turf at IEM Sydney, I think they're going to be they're going to pose a real threat there, right?
Well, it's kind of cool. It'll be interesting to see how they perform because obviously I know that performing on that stage in front of your home crowd in a country that doesn't get a lot of events is a high pressure, a high nervous situation. I know Chad talked about it. Chad was a little bit overwhelmed last year just addressing the crowd, not even really playing. And it's kind of cool, the idea that last year they were just kind of, the kind of honorable invite just because, it's their home country. First time you want to see the home crowd team play in front of on the stage and everything in front of the fans. This season they actually earned their invite, which is great. But when you put them on that stage, are they going to perform to the level that we've seen, the improved level that we've seen, or are they going to kind of collapse under the weight of that excitement and that pressure?
Well, I mean, we know they definitely can, right? We saw them, I think, the first event where they had Jacob, Star Series, right? They managed to get to the playoffs there. They did kind of better than I think most people anticipated, considering how fresh
the trouble is that it is kind of like that emotional aspect of it is always the unquantifiable version, right? Like, it is kind of nerve-wracking to play in front of the home crowd. Always want to be able to put on a good show, especially when you only get one chance per year. We'll have to see. It would obviously be a nice storyline, a nice romantic kind of way for Renegades to play, but...
I do love a romance, so, there's
Do I know that?
Yeah, well, I no, probably not, but, Jace, it's all good. Me and you can watch,
Got nothing?
I can't even think of any romance. I almost said Forrest Gump, but that isn't really like a
That's not
romance.
a
It's more of a
romantic
drama.
Yeah.
/ comedy, maybe. I don't know. I'll think of one.
Okay, great. Great. Four-man stack towards the A. Bumps it. Tarek pushing up, and he spots JKS's shoulder before he turns the corner. He really wanted that gun. He's going to get punished for his attempt, and so is Automatic as he comes through Connector. And the smokes are now down for Renegades, and they found 2 kills, but there's actually still a lot of danger in this round as both M4s are still on the board. Scoodle, though, once again rotating towards CT spawn. Rush is going to have to do everything to turn the corner looking for him. He can only get 1. Can't find that kill clean enough. And another round where Scoodle might just be best served to save the rifle and not have to spend that money in the next round. So Nifty picks off FNS, and Renegade's going to double up Cloud9's score. 4-2 after this, and a very good start to the game for Renegades. I mean, winning pistol, losing the second, but then recovering very, very quickly.
Yeah, they're going to go 4-2 up. They keep 2 players alive as well. Skadoodle's going to get to hold on to the M4, so it's likely we see Cloud9 buy up in the next round. He's going to be able to, I think, maybe we can see the AWP come out. Who knows? I'm bad at maths quickly, especially tonight. So there's always that. That's an unknown factor. He can't get it. Never mind. Forget that I said anything. But Renegade's going to go up 4-2. They're happy with this. Nifty always keeping this AWP forward. Means they're starting to build up a decent bank on the T side. Cloud9 buying up, but looks like they might just partial. They have the money to invest, but they'd be very, very light on utility. So I quite like this choice from Cloud9. It's an interesting one, when you look at it. They could have got rifles, they could have had armor, and then had, one smoke each, or 2 flashes, whatever. But instead, they've gone for the partial buy, and I like this call. They've realized how important the utility is versus Renegades. We've seen them be very, very explosive in a lot of these plays. And actually, they found the opener once again. The CZs, it was what won them around there in the second of this first half. And they're going to keep the man advantage going. Cloud9 currently 1 man up. They lose Rush in the gunfire, but they've gained 2 rifles on the back of it. So they're going to be very, very happy with that. And that's now forced Renegades really over here towards Banana. They've lost all control of apartments and top mid.
Still going to be a tough hold for C9. This time, Tarek's able to salvage that AK and get away with his life. He's cheating in towards CT spawn, but there's still a minute for Renegades to play with, so I actually like this call. Slow things down, back off. You don't need to be sucked into that hit at the B site quite yet. See if you can find maybe one more frag. You are going towards the 2 rifles. Renegades obviously can't know that. So a chance here for Tarek and Skadoodle. And they're going to go right at him. Here it is. Tarek will be able to bait them into Skadoodle. He's at an off angle. He's going to get that first kill. Here comes the next peek, and not expecting a Skadoodle. You could see Jacob actually looking to his left for a player to come out of the cubby, and it's just nifty. 1 versus 3 with an op and 30 seconds left. All of Cloud9 converging on the dropped bomb. Nifty has a choice. He's got plenty of money, so he could just save this, and I think that's going to have to be his only option. I think he does just have to keep it in his hands. Not going to be allowed, though, as his position's given up and can't hit the flick over. That's 2 rounds now. Off the back of essentially 2 force buy wins with CZs and upgraded pistols, Cloud9 has their 3.
Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of money left. I mean, that was only a partial buy down to about 2.5, 2.6 thousand. So they're gonna be laughing. You can see Tarek and Rush, they're the 2 that had to rebuy into this, and they've still got so much money over on the CT side. So we kind of see them now maybe getting a bit of a buffer there in that regard. For Renegades, they've bought down. This is they've put everything into this round. Nifty has the AWP. They've got utility across the board. He's going to go for this peek towards top mid, and he misses it. He has been trying for this top mid peek time and time again, and that was actually the first time we've seen there be Skadoodle there to challenge it. And Skadoodle wins that out. So Cloud9 now with the man advantage. Yeah, we've seen them always do very, very good whenever they pick up this this early man. I mean, most teams do, but it feels like Renegades never really get back into the round once this happens. They're going to be relying on a big play. As well, he spot this boost. Tarek peeking over the top, watching the aggression out from apartments. Going to start to back away as the smoke fades. But there's automatic boosted up on Banana. Going to go ahead and drop out Jacob, our resident Norwegian in the server.
Yeah, and that's a good opening find from the op as well. Double op setup. 1 was picked up for free, and both of the ops have actually rang out for Cloud9. So high impact from the expensive weapons, and that's going to funnel Renegades away from the B bomb site. They just don't want to have to run the gauntlet against automatic. Look at Rush crouched. He's going to allow Ustillo to get an angle in lane, but Tarek is hiding. As soon as Rush peeks out, if he ever spots this coming, and actually no one's actually looking for it, you still could get a free kill on the bomb site, but Tarek, aware of the possibility, looking for information, trying to see what's coming. He's going to be able to spray down the last 2 as well. As his teammate fell, immediate response. All tied up now 4-4, and I think the money is just about run dry for Renegades. They're going to be able to buy in the next round, but they'll have to sit at least this one out.
Yeah, now, you know, I'll tell you my other reason for predicting Renegades to win this. Why not?
Okay.
You know, we got a little bit of time. This round, you imagine, is just going to be a... Oh, maybe. Maybe it could be a little bit more. Maybe we'll hold this point. Let's see if Automatic can keep Renegades at bay. He cannot. He's going to fall. He's going to double down. He's on the entries, and he's getting them in a big way. They've gone running by Nifty, and that's allowed him to go ahead and find 1. This round's a disaster from Cloud9. They're trying to recover, and Skadoodle, 2 big kills. And suddenly they're thrust back into this one. So fast that not even the HUD could keep up with him. And now it's a 2-on-2. Skadoodle over in CT. Rush on Banana. They're going to try and split into this. And with both Ustillo and Nifty over towards the coffins, having to first try and take the fight with a man in ruins. Az is able to pick up the AWP. Skadoodle taps on the bomb. And we've seen Cloud9 get away with these sorts of rounds where they just hold down the bomb. And this one is another in the same. Azza, he's able to hold on to the AWP at least. But Cloud9, they will get a 5th.
That sequence of frags, that sequence of jumping from Skadoodle is so cool. I mean, it helps to bait out the shot. It gathers some information. It makes him a tough target. And it all combines to help C9 win that round, sticking the defuse inside the smoke. Still, you have to say, fair play to Renegades. It's a really good round. 3 kills. You get the bomb plant as well. So you're limiting the money that can flow in towards C9. Jacob again alone towards Banana, not put off by the fact that he got picked with the AWP. Burning alive, though, and he's got to use the smoke. And I think that is going to be upsetting for him. And now he's got to stand in front of the flame. So much utility being spent just to get this 1 kill. It's spreading, but it's not touching him until just now. That last spread. And again, Jacob is taken down in Banana. They're going to boost up automatic. That'll allow FNS to rotate back towards A. Heavy defense here. Skadoodle in the cubby with an AWP. He's got Tarek with him as well. Ooh, JKS almost able to find 1. And Rush is going to be able to handle it with the help of his teammate. The early pressure and the early attacks from Renegades have been swept aside. Where does Renegades go from here? No presence towards B. They know there's an Opper. A good pick from Azza. Nifty still waiting for someone to make the mistake, and it is. He does find one. Skadoodle walks right into the crosshair, and just like that, it's turned around. Already the flank is on, though. Automatic going to be all the way up mid. They can hear these footsteps. I believe Azza had to have known that, but Automatic wins the fight anyways. Switches out to the AK so he can be more aggressive. He's got FNS with him. They're playing the trade game. Headshot angle for Azza. If he can get one kill quickly, he'll have a chance. As they start wrapping around the site, he thinks one is going to come through that smoke. And actually, now that he's let him get into Graveyard, it might just be too tough. Too wide an angle for him to deal with. The op is going to be saved. So is the other one. Cloud9 recover and get up to 6.
Yeah, now they're still being kept modest, which is you know, important if you are Renegades. Although they had a decent bit of cash, now they all reinvested to this round. You know, they still have that 1 round buffer really when it comes to the buying, and a lot of that falls to Automatic just having so much cash banked up. Renegades, they've slowed down a little bit since the earlier stages of this first half. This time, instead of Jacob heading up Banana, it's going to be Nifty, and he runs in very aggressive. They're not ready for that one bit, and Automatic, he's going to go down as a result. That's a nice counter to what Cloud9 have been doing over here on Banana, just getting up past all that utility and using Nifty to pry Banana wide open. Now Tarek, he's donning the AWP in this position. Jacob, he just hates nades. He's a magnet at the minute.
You have to be tough mentally to be a Banana player on the T side of Inferno, because that's sometimes so frustrating with the amount of nades that gets used. We see it frequently. Sometimes 2 players on the CT side just exhaust everything they have to try and get control of Banana, or even to just get that one pick. A lot of pressure on Tarek, though. With the AWP, he's going to be at the off angle at B, and Renegades coming back to him. And this is cool. This is a mid-round decision to go force back the presence, the pressure from Cloud9. And they don't even have to commit. Flashbang over. Going to force Tarek off the angle, deeper into the bomb site. He doesn't have a smoke or a Molotov, though, so neither does FNS, who's his nearest support. This is going to be so tough. Tarek in dark, not a lot of places to go. Finds the opening kill, swings out wide into the open. Now he just has to win. It's win or die, and he can't do either. Or he can die. My bad. So does FNS as he tries in desperation to come through the smoke. And Nifty now, watching for the flank. I don't know if Cloud9 can really go for this. What you can do is stick by and make sure that as many players from Renegades die after the blast as possible, but Rush isn't even interested in that. So he's going to fall away.
Yeah, I mean, it is good that they can, you know, potentially save on both of these players, because, you know, you see that, you know, Tarek, he's a little bit low on money. You'd like to have full nades, even FNS, he could have something thrown over just to facilitate the perfect buy for Cloud9. And actually, no, Rush has gone ahead and joined Skadoodle here to keep an eye on these players falling back through CT, and ooh, he's been able to get 2. That's it, Nifty does find both. The 3 big kills at the end, and they lose JKS as they exit, but that will be it. So 6-5, this is going to be a very, very close first half. Timeout called in for the Cloud9 side. Not too happy with how that round went down. Perhaps going to try and figure out a new way of keeping a hold of this Banana, given that Renegades have adapted nicely to the nade stacks they were throwing in earlier on. I can see there's one AWP in play at least. You imagine that's going to be thrown over to Skadoodle. I think they had enough to move into the double up setup once again. We know they like doing that, splitting it between.
Yeah, I just don't know if they have enough to do it this time, and if they do, it is going to eat into those grenades, the armor, the kits, whatever it might be, all the extra stuff that you like to have. So we'll be interested to see. Yeah, this is the last buy that Cloud9 has before they would have to save. So Renegade's already sitting with a pretty nice T side, and if they get the reset here, if they shatter Cloud9 at this juncture, it's going to be a phenomenal half. There's not even enough time for Cloud9 to fully recover from it left in the half. And here's a boost up, and Jacob's going to win that fight. Revenge is served, and all 5 players of Renegade's going to keep the pressure. Again, it's an AWP in this B bomb site, this time on FNS, and it's just so hard to hold off a hit of 4 or 5 players with just the AWP. He's already missed the first player that's crossed. That's a great find. He's going to go back for more, but Nifty's holding it right through the edge of the coffin, and Cloud9 on the other side of the map in A had 3 players set up for a hulls and quad play. So they're very far off on the reinforcements on the rotation, and they're just going to have to save the weapons.
Yeah, very, very quick round from Renegades. I mean, you see what Cloud9 tried to throw in there. You see the fruits of that pause, and it just wasn't the answer they were looking for. Jacob's able to beat them to it, and the boost comes in just a little too late. And so he topples it down, and that's going to be a 6th round now for Renegades. It's already shaping up to be a very, very good half, as you said. And now, I mean, the buy for Cloud9 into this next round, you know, actually they're going to force up around what they've got. But, you know, you look at it, you look at that buy, and you think, you know, 3 players saving, not that bad. But Tarek's only got himself the CZ, so he's going to be pretty limited. And yeah, you even make the case maybe of them, you know, not force buying around this, not buying up on Skadoodle and FNS, because then they could, you know, go for rifles in the next round.
Yeah, this is a tough scenario for C9 to be in, and Renegades on the verge of surprising us again. I think some people were surprised their victories over NRG the other night, and now here against Cloud9. I mean, it is important to say as well, I'm sure the Desk mentioned it, this is an incredibly important game for the context of playoff spots. Cloud9 is in 5th, Renegades, I believe, is in 4th, Optic in 3rd. And this can not only shift the seedings, but Cloud9's had to fight their way back in, so these teams are still capable of falling out, because Luminosity in that 7th seed is knocking at the door, and this B bomb site has been open for business the entire half. This time a boost up is going to yield the first kill that's immediately traded. Here comes FNS once again running through, but can't get anything done. And they just can't hold anything. And remember as well, this was the bomb site previously that Stewie had played for Cloud9. Stewie and Automatic. And that switch up, all of a sudden the bomb site much more difficult to hold without a Stewie having presence.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially as it looks like they've just tried to, you know, slot FNS into Stewie's role, and you know, I think the B bomb site, especially if you're looking at that more sort of anchor role, it isn't one that you'd want to be putting FNS into. But, you know, then the question becomes, do you risk maybe putting one of the other guys in a site that they're not as good at just because they kind of can provide more firepower than FNS? Or do you just have him play, you know, a less than ideal role? That's nice for Automatic, though. You know, a nice sequence at the end. 3 kills. He's going to go ahead and keep Renegades pretty modest, all things. They're over on the T side, so it doesn't perhaps matter as much. And, you know, I mean, we're moving towards the end of the first half. So I think, you know, they've guaranteed their buys at least to the end of the game, to the end of the half, rather.
It is an interesting question. It'll be interesting to see if Cloud9 switches that up as time goes on. I think right now, just to keep things simple, kind of makes sense to let them slot in as they try and figure out and see what they've got. This is not a great snapshot of what that B defense can offer. Tough to make judgments off just the one game, so we'll have to continue to monitor, as is the case with all roster swaps. Automatic with the AWP in these A-holes. Tarek's there with him. FNS with a CZ and Skadoodle at the back of the B bomb site. So this time, no one challenging for Banana. They've lost that the past few rounds. Renegades has done a good job of all of a sudden finding some opening kills. Here's an opportunity for Tarek. He wants more than just the one, but they get around the corner immediately. They're going to chase him down, but it's the op. It's JKS, and I think he might have actually, or excuse me, it's Nifty, and he might have been blind. And there's the kill with the op, swapping it over, the flick down. Nice sequence from Tarek on the hold, and he single-handedly won Cloud9 this round. They're going to get their 7th. They'll tie things up with a chance to go into the second half with a 1-round lead.
Yeah, just Jacob here, and you don't imagine he's going to be able to get too much done. Perhaps good for him. There's only FNS and Skadoodle here. Skadoodle's going to be lying in wait, though, over towards Dark. And that's a pretty tricky spot to contend with, especially with no utility on Jacob. He has to land this shot, and he does not, so Skadoodle's able to find it. 7-7. All tied up. And you get to see the replay. This was lovely from Tarek. You kind of feel like, you know, maybe he's screwed here. He misses that first opportunity, but then Nifty gives up that kill, and he's very quick on the AWP.
I'm not, yeah, I can understand the play from Nifty I mean, obviously I don't think he's expecting to get blinded. I'm not sure what exactly Flashbang hit him. Maybe he was trying to speed up to take advantage and it was a team flash, but it just seems even not blind, that's not an easy shot with the AWP. Maybe just let that initial frag go, but either way. JKS now, we've seen him earlier. On a save round, he spammed the corner and was punished by CZs. This time it's Automatic, the opening kill, and JKS swings right into Tarek. So off the back of this more aggressive play in A-holes, Cloud9, it looks like they're going to net themselves 2 rounds right at the end, as it's just Ustillo and Jacob as one of those two gets picked off. So yeah, Cloud9 despite some of the struggles, going to end with a lead. Although you still have to say this is a very well put together, a great half for Renegades moving forward.
Ooh, Jacob, that's a nice little shot. Maybe want to get him rolling back into that round, but no. Tarek, the great denier, does go ahead and shut him down. It's going to be Cloud9 winning out the first half, 8-7. And it was a nice recovery because, you know, there was a time where it looked like Renegades were just going to, you know, kind of maybe start to run away with that a bit. It was that 3K from Tarek that allowed them to win the half out overall. But still very, very close. Split right down the middle at the end of the first half. I think, you know, this is probably going to be... I think we had the hot match of the week yesterday, right? That was NRG versus Liquid or something along those lines. But in my opinion, this is the real hot match.
Okay.
I joked about it being Dignitas versus Splice. Obviously that wasn't the hot match. The week, Jason, you know.
I don't know if you're joking. I think that was the most hyped up I've seen you in a long time.
Well, to be fair, you know, I do love both those teams.
Is that 2 and 3?
Yeah, that's 2 and 3. Renegades come in at position number 1 though, so yeah. But no, I think this is the, you know, this is kind of one of the real hot matches that we can see, especially, you know, when you look at the big impact that it has on the standings once again.
Yeah, this is the fun part of the season, where the kind of the grind disappears and everyone's playing for their seed for those last few spots. Cloud9 gets a lot of direct invites. Renegades doesn't have that luxury quite yet. They haven't earned it. Trying to do so here. Trying to cap off a very nice season, and they've got a triple stack towards the B bomb site, which is looking very wise at the moment. Although Cloud9's still not committing. Tarek peeking in towards the bomb site's going to see nothing. 2 players with utility. Skadoodle, who's been brought down low. FNS has been tagged up a little bit. Those are both towards the B site at the moment, at the base of mid, and now they're going to switch things up, go back towards A. So a little bit of presence shown at B. That keeps the 3rd player there. Jacob still hasn't rotated. And you have just a 2-man defense that's playing far, far back in the bomb site. So a lot of control, a lot of map control, and very little information being passed on from Renegades. They have no idea that Cloud9 is this close, and that could be their undoing. Here come the smokes, here come the flashbangs, and here comes Rush leading the way out of Palace through the smoke. Nifty sees it, but they're already in the site before he can take a shot, and that's too easy. Both players go down immediately for Renegades, and there's no chance of this retake happening. It would have to be a collapse of epic proportions in this post plant for C9.
Yeah, 3v5, not the situation you want to be in if you are a Renegades fan watching this from home. JKS going to try and find something, but there's no reason for Automatic to give this angle up. He doesn't have to go peeking into it. They can just sit pretty. Cloud9 know it. And Tarek, well, he does go hunting. He's going to find himself a 2nd kill of the round. They keep chasing down Renegades. Relentless. And, ooh, Tarek, how's he landed that? That's a nice quick flick out from Tarek. Surely he goes down here, and he finally does. No, he doesn't get to add any more insult to injury. It's just Jacob. And now it is no one. Cloud9 going to go 9-7 up here. They win out the pistol in the 2nd half. Although we did see Renegades win the pistol and then lose the anti-eco round. So maybe Cloud9, they still have that hurdle to overcome.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it's funny, though, if you think back to the opening pistol round when Cloud9 was on the CT side, they should have won that. They had a 5-on-3, so at least at the moment, this is feeling much nicer for them. And the CZ buy does come in, but there's no armor for anyone on Renegades except for Jacob. So it's not as dangerous as it could be. They're saving up for that 4th round. They want to get started with the op, with the smokes and Molotovs to defend. We'll see how it goes. Jacob is at the B site with the armor. Tarek looks like he's going to be the fated player to be the main aggressor in Banana. Smoke down for Renegades in the choke point, and Cloud9 is happy to wait it out. They haven't seen any aggression. They have heard no noise except for that smoke. The only information they've got is that there's at least one in the B bomb site. And this could be the round actually right here. There's a nice little stack in mid. Plenty of flashbangs, plenty of smokes and Molotovs for C9. How do they choose to take this? Approaching 50 seconds on the clock. Nifty loses his nerve. He heads back towards B, and now they're going to turn the corner into the stack, but they don't use anything. No smokes, no flashes, just a contact play, and this could be so dangerous. Still needs to get this kill, and he does. That's the bomb down. FNS is a left and a 1-on-3. He's going to push up middle. There's the flashbang. FNS, he's got a lot of work to do, and he knows he has just a 1-on-1 here at the site, so he's going to press the issue. He's going to keep up the pace, and he's got to go hunt this down, but he's got to do it quickly. He needs to get into the site, clearing all the main corners. Already the rotation, the flank is coming in for Renegades. He's got 1 kill, 20 seconds, can't make it into the bomb site. Sees one in lane. Relative protection here in Graveyard, but the rifle will out-duel him. Both teams converting the second round after losing pistol.
I mean, what a play from Ustillo. How's on earth are you able to get 3 there with the CZ? No armor. I will never know. So now Renegades, they buy up. Cloud9, unlike the decision Renegades got to make thanks to that bomb plant, they have to force buy up here. They don't have money to buy into the next round. So now, you know, we either see Cloud9 take a round back, or we see Renegades manage to convert 2 in a row, at which point then you imagine you see them move into the lead. So Rush is over here in apartments. No one challenging him from Renegades, rather. The rest of the team are in tow. Ooh, for that nade, he's going to go ahead and eat it. Tag down at 59 HP. You do hate to see that. I've thrown in their first wave of utility. It has been slowed down by these Molotovs. Now they're pushing into it. Nifty's going to go with the spray, but they're already pushing up onto him, and he's not ready for that. Tarek's going to be able to find him here, but no, Jacob's around to support. Only manages a second kill before he gets taken down, and now it is 1 man inside of B. JKS, who might have 2 players coming his way. Azza tries the aggression down through short, doesn't want to go down here. Does have support, luckily enough, from Ustillo. They've started to wrap round behind. Cloud9, faced with an awkward decision. Do they keep pincering into A? Do they try for B? And FNS, well, he's been trapped. He is going to go down. Skadoodle's able to go ahead and drop Azza. Bomb plant's going to come in for Cloud9. Now it's a 2-on-2 in the after plant, and damage done. JKS, he's going to fall as well. Now it's just Ustillo to pull off a 1v2. It was a 3k in the previous round that won it for Renegades. He has to do it once again. He's able to find the first, but not the second. Skadoodle, 4 big kills, and Cloud9, they're going to go ahead and take this round straight back.
That's vintage Cloud9 as well. That's the Cloud9 style that won them the major. Every time they were encountered an obstacle, the answer for them was aggression, was just keep pushing, keep peeking and taking a fight. And since everyone's doing it, everyone's on the same page, they're getting all the trades in their favor. Even when they find themselves boxed into the site, they know they can't just sit there and get pinched from 2 different angles on the retake. They just decide to get aggressive and fight on each side. So well done from C9. Again, another return. CZ is still proving powerful. This should be much easier for C9 to convert this round. No armor, only 1 upgraded pistol on Ustillo. Banana control already Cloud9's. 3rd player rotating over.
Yeah, so I'm going to go for CT. And you kind of brought it up just with the vanilla pistols in play. You imagine this is going to be a pretty clean-cut round for Cloud9. And now the question remains, where do they decide to go? 3 players for Renegades inside the B-bomb site. 2 over here on A. It's just Nifty and Ustillo. Now, Ustillo's pretty damn good with this CZ no armor, if you recall, in that second round. 3 players over in the top of mid. Perhaps they'll sell a fake as now they rotate back with the bomb.
I just don't think there's anything this time. I mean, you could see Cloud9 made a massive mistake in the second round of just, you know, dry peeking into that stack in lane. They're not going to do it again. And just too many advantages. Only 1 CZ on the board that's already been taken away. So going to be an easy round win for the American side. And Eric is here to shut down the remaining 2. 3 kills for the man overall in the round. Plenty of bonus money. Excuse me. 24 and 12 for Tarek. He's far and away the best player in the server so far. Skadoodle is 16, which is quite good. He's only got 8 deaths as well on Skadoodle. But after that, everyone's down at, I think the next closest is 13, so or maybe even 12. So quite a good game from Tarek.
Yeah, a very, very good game indeed. You know, he was one of the players who during the run at the major really, really did come alive. So it's good to see him keeping that form up. That's one thing that I think, you know, some people have mixed views on about, you know, the inclusion of FNS. Now, have you kind of freed up that much more fragging potential from Tarek, who's already doing very, very well in the IGL position? Or, you know, will we see that perhaps drop off as he struggles to put himself in, you know, kind of the ideal scenarios? That was one of the arguments I heard the guys on the desk make at one point in time. Which I think is a weird one. Usually we always associate, you know, someone who's in-game leading maybe is going to have a harder time, you know, actually putting up decent numbers.
It's usually like when he first gets into a team, right? Because you have to spend a lot of you're still doing way more micromanaging than you should be. Once things get settled in and more comfortable, it gets easier because you know the in-game leading role isn't something that like persists 100% of the time through a round, right? Mid-round decisions are called by anyone who has the feeling. You have to. The in-game leader's job is to kind of have the overarching strategy, and the tactics, like the smaller kind of ideas of how to achieve that goal, change throughout the course of a round. So as long as everyone's on the same page of where they're going and what kind of the overall idea is, how you want to win and how you want to attack a certain team in a different situation, the different smaller calls are made by each individual player. Sometimes intuition, sometimes information they gather. So once you get a team kind of set around that road as an in-game leader, you can focus more on individual. It's just not the easiest thing in the world to get to that point.
Now this ends up being a pretty expensive round for Cloud9. I don't want to be too worried about that, given that they are on the T side. You know, they still have a decent, you know, sprinkling of money. But you can see as the reinvestment comes in that they're all bought actually fairly low. Tactical timeout for Renegades. I think that's understandable. You're heading into your first buy on the CT side. You know, you've seen the last heap of rounds go the way of Cloud9, and now it's you know their chance for Nifty to make sure everyone's on the same page here. And you know, they kind of understand the importance of this round, because if you lose this, you know, Renegades, you've gone for a double save just to make sure you have all the utility, all the weapons you want into this round. You lose this, suddenly Cloud9 are up 13-8. You've got no money into that next one, so it's an easy 14-8 scoreline for Cloud9, and then you know they're on the home stretch. So this is a big round for Renegades, and they know it.
Yeah, it's huge. Almost essential if Renegades want to stay alive in this opening map. Let's see what they've got to fight with. Should be plenty, especially with a saved AK-47 and a saved M4 on Aza. Op is in Nifty's hands. Those two saved weapons could come back to be huge. Might be the difference between having an op one more time in this half for Renegades. Cloud9 gonna take it slow. Look at this, out of the pause. Frequently out of a pause, you'll see some of the CT teams to try and do something sneaky, rush mid, nade stack that area at the top of the T ramp, and keep pushing down. And there's an attempt at a body block coming in a bit too late, but yeah, Cloud9 just playing overly passive. Now they're at top mid. They've already got control of brackets, and they spot Nifty over the smoke. He wasn't ready for that. That was very, very fast to come in for C9. Still, the bomb is all the way back down. They're not ready to commit to anything. They just like having the man advantage, like having the map presence, and look at the rotations it's forced. Great frag from Skadoodle. Peeking around the corner very quickly. Still, the bomb hasn't moved, waiting to see what's found. That's Tarek waiting with it. Jacob does find one. They've taken control of the A site, and they're just finding all the kills as Yustilo peeks out.
Yeah, and at this point, it's already a save. They've gone and retrieved the ult. They have to go ahead and fade away. Cloud9 going to be on to a 13th. Now, the good news, you bought it up, those two saved weapons. That here, you know, you said how it can make the difference between one more AWP in the half. But if they save these two guns, it means they can actually get a buy into this next round, which is good if you are Renegades. Gives you a shot early on, trying to stop this Cloud9 T side. And you know, one thing I think it's worth bringing up as well is how I've always thought rather that Skadoodle is so good on the T side AWPing of this map, because you see so many AWPers kind of start to drop off a bit when you move into the T side. I mean, it was him in this round. He was really able to open things up over there towards the long angle. It
takes a different style of AWPing on the T side, in my opinion, to be an effective AWPer, because I think the T side of Inferno is more so about being like the supportive, passive style AWPer and covering your teammates, covering different angles for peaks. Rather than being that kind of playmaking combat style. And sometimes you are in situations where you need to bust that out, but I think the more impactful, the more consistent effectiveness of an Opera on this map is to play kind of Skadoodle, letting everyone else go first and just holding that angle or space being created for you and then you taking advantage of it. Saved up for Renegades is huge. They can pass it over to Nifty, and this is where the 2 saved rifles from a couple rounds ago comes into play, as it's still a perfectly viable buy from Renegades. It's actually very, very strong, all things considered. Jacob's on a FAMAS, but he's got full utility, and other than that, everyone's sitting quite nice. Plenty of kits, plenty of nades, and plenty of damage dealt in their direction. Raza down to 78, JKS 85, as they push Banana. And again, Cloud9 just remaining very passive.
I mean, this passive style is a very, very hard one for Renegades to try and contend with. You can see, I mean, they never get any information early on. They never really have any clue. Everything's kind of done on the back of a hunch. And this round, they've stacked 4 players over towards A. JKS holding up on the half wall down at Banana. So he does at least have a forward position in that regard. He can get information from players as they make their way up. And this is good. 4 players inside of A for Renegades. Does mean that Cloud9 would be walking into a stack if they continue aggressing, but they already look like they're going to start to back off. They've thrown out smoke over towards Long. He spots the man in Boiler, now backs away as he misses that opening shot. That would have been a big kill to find. Instead, Molotov out towards the top of Banana. That's going to force JKS off the angle. And you can see the effect that's had. Jacob now playing over on Speedway. Looks like he was in a position where he was going to start to make his way towards B. And oh no, it's all on Jake, and he has to try and get a couple here. He does go down. This is where you need Azza to step up. In with 1. Can he make it a second? No, he cannot. So there is still 1 prong coming in. JKS has to hold off. There is a flank coming on through from Banana. This round's a very weird one. Renegades, they've got players flanking up onto these players in the site. You still are going to drop the first. Skadoodle now falls. 7 seconds left. FNS not in a position to get anything done. It's going to be the round going the way of Renegades.
Ooh, those are 2 huge kills for FNS down the stretch. That's actually not a bad outcome for Cloud9, all things considered. Yes, they lose the round. Great response by Renegades to push down middle in that fashion. They made that call instantly as well, so they were there very, very fast. But those 2 kills at the end take away a lot of what Renegades would have loved to have been able to build up. This buy, again, with only 1 player surviving, they're now at the breaking point where if FNS hadn't got those kills, they would have had a purchase behind this. And an economy being shattered at 9 to 13 pretty much puts you out of the fight for the rest of the map.
And that's already an opening kill found. Skadoodle on the entry. He's been able to deal with Jacob. I think that was through a smoke as well, so they're going to be really disappointed with that one. Nothing they can do. Shots start to rain through, and oh no, another man found. Tarek. He's gone ahead and dealt with JKS. Nifty has come rotating, and he stands here now alone and with the AWP. That's a very tricky situation to be in. We brought it up earlier when FNS was in the same situation. Nifty going to be flashed off the angle. They start to push into him. The smoke rains into Coffins, followed by the Molotov. He gets forced out of the bomb site, and this round, while it's going to be a save from Renegades, they have to get Nifty out of there. He's able to escape. And now he's going to look to rejoin the rest of the guys over on A. Cloud9 onto a 14th. And Renegades into this next round. They're going to be able to drop a rifle over from Ustilla, I think, or maybe like a FAMAS or something.
I think Cloud9, it looks like they want to go hunt this down. They know the position the Renegades economy is in, but they just can't. The save call came in very, very fast, which was very good from Renegades, so they're able to actually get over towards Pit, all 3 of them. Rush has them cordoned in, but can't be the only one, and there's simply not enough money on the C9 side to risk these AKs. Couple kills through the smoke is always helpful, and yeah, it leaves a little bit of a sinking feeling in your stomach if you're Renegades. Do like the choice from Nifty, though, to just bail out of that round. And they've got to invest here, Renegades. With these 3 rifles, it's going to be the best chance they have at actually taking a round. So they have to buy no matter what. FAMAS dropped over to Jacob. He still picks up one of his own, and JKS he's got armor and P250. That's how dire it's gotten for him.
Nifty just going to miss the timing. That would have been a very, very welcome advantage for them had they got it, but doesn't want to overstay as well. There you go. Does manage to land it in through the Very small angle from top of mid up into apartments. Now
Automatic gave up his rhythm with those shoulder peeks. Nifty knew the exact timing of the next peak. Just takes the shot based on that. Still a difficult one to hit. No reason to make it sound too easy, but Automatic gave him the chance he needed.
And they've been very, very quick rotating Nifty over here towards B. This is a nice switch up from Renegades.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, he's going to get burnt down low. Into Dark he goes. He has JKS with the P250. He's able to get one. He now has to fall into the Molotov. JKS tag down low, finished off by Rush. Nifty goes down shortly after. A double on the entry from a Rush. 3-on-3. Bomb goes down, and Cloud9, they're in the driving seat in this round. Renegades have to try retake this site here and now. As to the top of Banana he goes. Flash goes high for him. He has to peek quickly into Tarek, but Tarek's going to find it. And now it's Jacob and Ustillo at this point. They're going to make the decision to go ahead and save. And this is a pretty gut-wrenching decision to have to make if you are Renegades.
You've had to make so many of these decisions throughout this half, right? You almost feel like you haven't even been able to fight for the game. Big win for Cloud9 there, and it's so tough to hold that back, even with the initial kills going the way of Renegades. Cloud9 so good at just running into that B-bomb site, running in along that path while the flashbangs go out, not getting blind to yourselves, but at an angle where your opponents are, and Rush is able to trade the 2 kills off. So really nice hit for Cloud9. The Molotovs preventing Nifty from getting into safety to support his teammate properly. And they're going to have not an easy route to the victory. 3 UMPs and 2 FAMAs, but certainly better than playing against the M4s and the AWP. Tarek leading the way, 28 kills on the guy. Going for the 30. A couple more rounds to do it, perhaps. No one able to match him from the Renegades team. And again, a lot of success for both teams at this B-bomb, so you can see Cloud9's going to favor it again. Mid-round presence, mid-round take control, and actually JKS behind the sandbags gets one, coming through the smoke, should be able to get the other, and he does. FNS was caught, couldn't make it all the way through. That's a huge double kill for JKS and Jacob, or excuse me, 2 separate kills. Molotov out for Automatic, another flashbang comes in. Renegades wants to stay aggressive, and this time it's the FAMAS. Right at the boards, here's the peek from Automatic, gonna get around the corner, finds one, but not able to find Jacob, and that flashbang works on Skadoodle perfectly, swapping out, not gonna go for more, and it's just Rush. Any weapon he can take away at this point is perfect. There's one, goes for the second, transfers the headshot on, now he's got the bomb and a chance, but only 1 HP. This would have to be miraculous for Rush to convert this round, and Ustillo and Oz are gonna come in from the flank.
Yeah, 1 HP. He's going to go back for the peek down. Banana, 2 players. Oh, Rush, that's a third. And now it's just Ustillo. How on earth has he managed this? Ustillo's flanking up through Banana and Rush. He's going to hide away. Here's the footsteps. Has an idea as to where Ustillo is. Ustillo is the smoke. He's going to go ahead and throw it on the bomb. Rush peeks out, and Rush is going to do it. 1 HP. Cloud9, they win this first map. And what a fantastic clutch from Rush. That is fantastic. Oh, Jason, what did we just witness? What a way to end this map.
Stone cold from Rush. 1 HP in a 1 versus 2. That is a beautiful sequence. Precision aim, smart gameplay as well, perfect positioning. And Cloud9 just wiped the floor with Renegades. We thought it would be close, but they make short work. We're going to hear from the analyst desk when we return from the break, and also we'll have the second map in this series, this playoff contending series. So stay tuned.
Incendiary out.